G'day kids! It's another story time with Miss Candice. Today, we are going to read a book from a famous author, Leo Lionni. Let's find out what does it mean when they say, one bird doesn't make a flock. Shall we start? Let's begin! The title of the story is Nicolas, Where Have You Been? By Leo Lionni. At the edge of the great meadow, 4 little field mice were nibbling berries.
Look for the red ones,
said Elodie.
They are the sweetest and juiciest,
said Henry.
because they're ripe,
Said William. But all they could find were pale pink berries that were neither sweet nor juicy. The ripe red ones had already been picked,
the birds got here before you.
said Uncle Raymond, who was watching them. That's not fair, said Nicholas. Why should they get the best berries? Down with the birds! Down with the birds! All the little mice shouted. Then and there, Nicholas decided to look for a berry patch that the birds had not yet discovered. He would find the sweetest and juiciest berries in the whole world. Without telling anyone, he set out across the great meadow. He walked on, seeing nothing but the tall grass that surrounded him. At last, Nicholas reached a clearing. He scanned the horizon, but there wasn't a berry in sight. Then suddenly, he heard the noise of flapping wings. He looked up. A big, ugly bird swooped down on him. Before Nicholas could run back into the tall grass and hide, the bird grabbed him with its sharp claws and carried him up into the sky. Help! Help! Nicholas shrieked. He twisted and wiggled wildly, and the bird lost its grip. Nicholas plunged through the air. He landed in a nest where 3 little birds were dozing. They jumped up.
Who are you?
They asked. I am Nicholas, a field mouse. And he told them about his adventure,
Stay with us.
said the birds.
You can tell us mouse stories and we will tell you all about birds.
Then their mother appeared with a worm,
Mother,
said one of the little birds.
this is Nicholas, a field mouse. May he stay with us? Of course.
Said the mother bird.
But what do little field mice eat?
Berries, said Nicholas. Field mice like nuts and corn and berries, ripe red berries. The mother bird flew off and soon returned with a bright red berry. Nicholas couldn't believe his eyes, and it was the sweetest berry he had ever tasted. The days flew by. Nicholas ate berries to his heart's content. He and the little birds peeped and tweeted mouse songs, bird songs, and funny stories. And at night, they cuddled up against the mother bird's soft down. But one morning, Nicholas woke up to discover that his friends had flown away. They had left a big pile of berries in the nest, but Nicholas was too sad to eat. Nicholas knew that the time had come for him to leave the high nest. Fearfully, he climbed down the tree, from branch to branch, from twig to twig. When he finally reached the ground, he found himself face to face with Elodie, Henry, and William. Nicholas! They shouted excitedly. Where have you been? We have been looking all over for you. Nicholas began to tell what had happened. But when he told how the big, ugly bird swooped down and grabbed him with its claws, the others became furious. And before Nicholas could add another word, they shouted, "Down with the birds! War on the birds! War on all the birds!" They shouted on and on. "Let me finish," Nicholas insisted desperately. "Let me finish my story." When the mice had finally quieted down, Nicholas told them about the nest, the birds, the songs, and the stories. Little by little, the anger faded from their faces. Suddenly they shouted, "Nicholas, look behind you!" Nicholas turned around. There were the birds. In their beaks, they carried the ripe red berries he knew so well.
For you!
They said. Just then, Uncle Raymond appeared from behind the tree. He smiled and slowly raised his cane.
That shows you
He said,
one bad bird doesn't make a flock.
Then he joined the others. It was a feast. Everyone, including Uncle Raymond, agreed that the berries were the most delicious they had ever tasted. So that's the story of Nicholas, his mice friends, and his bird friends. And from what we have heard from Uncle Raymond, that one bird doesn't make a flock just means that we cannot judge a group for one's mistake. Bye!